Peace, love, light, and darkness be unto you. Greetings. This is your girl, Empress Queen Kenya, coming to you at a blessed day. For all of you who have been with me for like a long time, I just want to say thank you. For those who have just started watching me in 2022, thank you. I am being consistent with a plan that I have had for years to finally do my YouTube channel and videos. The series of the videos that I do is called Soul Inspirations because I am here to inspire the soul. Trying to get my music just right. Okay, look. Today's topic is about feeling alone. Have you ever felt alone? Now look, it's a lot of things going on right now in the world, and I realized that there are surges, it seems like, when people start committing suicide or people are being reported to have committed suicide. When I was younger and when I was grounded more in religion and Christianity, I used to think that suicide was a horrible thing. Horrible. And I used to just be like, why would they want to do that? Why would they want to take their own lives? Why would they want to leave here? Why would they give up? Why? Y'all know I tell y'all, I got a mind that questions everything. I always question everything. I'm burning my Palo Santos to keep me focused and sacred. If you don't know about this, you need to know about it. It's good. So, yeah, I always would wonder. Mind you, when I was 15, I tried to kill myself. There was so much going on in my life at that time. And I just really felt like I couldn't take it no more. What was the point? I had gone through enough. And I just didn't want to be here no more. I was 15, y'all. And the pressures of my life at the time as a teenager. And it wasn't because of peer pressure stuff at that time for me. You know, a lot of times, unfortunately, these days, kids are killing themselves because they're being bullied at school or because of pressures at home. But mostly what you hear about is because kids are being bullied. And I just feel that the children that are growing up these days are not as emotionally equipped or have enough tough skin as the generation that I grew up in. But, you know, I could go so many different places with that because even though I grew up in the generation that I did, I still was in position to want to kill myself too. So, you know, I'm still analyzing that part of it. But I do know this, that for me, it was not just the pressures of peer pressure. There was no peer pressure for me. I didn't feel that way. The friends that I had, I was okay with them. They didn't talk about me, not to my face anyway. They knew better. Back then, I probably would have been considered in this day as a bully, but I don't think I'm a bully. Anyways, I mind my business. I just, when people step to me, I took care of it. Let's just say that. So I didn't have them problems from my peers. But what I did have was household issues. Things that I was going through at home that I just felt like it would never end. My relationship with my parent wasn't the best at the time. And I just felt misunderstood. And I just felt like, it don't make no sense for me to keep trying to understand them or trying to get them to understand me because they don't get it. Clearly, they don't get it. So I went to school one day. I was in high school, 10th grade. And I took it might have been a half a bottle. But I took a whole half a bottle of Tylenol, something. I don't know what it was, but it was Tylenol. And you're not supposed to take, a whole bottle of Tylenol. Not more than 2 or 3. I took so many. It was a lot. All I know is I was in the bathroom. I took the pills. And then I just stayed in the bathroom. I wasn't leaving. Then I was knocked out. So when I came to, I don't even remember what happened. Somebody went and told my teacher or found me or something. I don't know. But the ambulance came to the school. They came and got me. They took me to the hospital. When I woke up, I was at the hospital. That's what I remember. They pumped my stomach. They pumped my stomach and they was able to get me to a stabilized position. After that, shortly after, I was admitted into a psych ward. For children, for teenagers at the time, because they felt I was an endangerment to myself because I wanted to kill myself. So then I had to go through all these psychiatric evaluations. To me, it was like living in a group home because I was around a whole bunch of other teenagers who had tried to do the same thing. And we would have group sessions and therapy and one-on-one talkings and all that. I stayed there. I was admitted and I had to stay there for 2 weeks. It seemed like forever. Those 2 weeks seemed like the longest 2 weeks. It might have been 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know, but it seemed like forever. Why am I talking about this? Why am I bringing this up? Because I feel like it's important for people to know that it's other people out here experiencing the same things that you're experiencing. But it's ways to deal with it. Now, when I was 15, I didn't have the mindset that I have now. I didn't have the tools or the resources within my mind for the wisdom spiritually. Now, I had the religious background, but that didn't help me. That didn't help me at all. It wasn't enough back then. If I had known spiritually the things that I know now, then maybe that would have been enough. But sometimes it don't matter. Sometimes you got to go through what you got to go through. And your journey is your journey. So what I come to understand for myself about the perspective of suicide is that it means different things to different people. And with the knowledge and wisdom and understanding and consciousness that I have now, I truly believe that some people really know what they're doing. when they commit suicide. Some people really know. And whether or not the other people know, they've already made up their mind that that's what they want to do. And so they follow through with it because I feel kind of that they feel there are no other options. This is the only way. Nobody's going to miss me. I'm tired of going through what I'm going through. And then there are those who have a sense of consciousness, who have a sense of spirituality, who have a sense of understanding and ascension, and who just feel like, they don't belong here no more. And they would rather go wherever it is that they go when they would leave the vessel. So they choose that for themselves. And then they be about their way. What does this have to do with feeling alone? It has a lot to do with it, because a lot of it starts that way. And that's what this whole soulspiration is about. Do you ever feel alone? I'm not saying do you feel lonely. There's two different things. To feel alone is to be in a world where it seems nobody truly acknowledges who you are. And even if they are acknowledging you in a day-to-day basis, they don't understand. They don't understand the depths of your journey. They don't understand the depths of your mind. And of course they don't. They're not you. You don't even quite understand all the time, right? Do you ever wonder? And I ask this question all the time. I just want y'all to think about this. Do you ever wonder about life and the true meaning of it? Like, what's the point? Why am I here? Yes, we have entered into the earth realm. And inside this earth realm, there are countries, lands, governments in place with systems that they created. And because I've entered into the earth realm, I become a part of that system, and all depending on what part of the region I enter the earth realm in, there's a different set of systems in place. Some of us are born in continents where there's much freedom. And some of us were born on continents where there wasn't much freedom at all. Years ago, for some, freedom was taken away. In this day and age, for some, freedom is still being taken away. But people are being coerced into giving up their freedom by having agendas set in place to have people believe that they are free in the first place. And so they get you to submit. I don't want to go too much off on another topic, but I want to make sense to y'all. I don't want to ramble. It's okay to feel alone. It's okay to want to be alone. There was a time when I didn't want nobody around me, and I just wanted to be by myself. So I created that opportunity. I left my family, everybody, and I started a life alone by myself. I think of myself as the gypsy woman, always going to and fro, just traveling, settling but not really settling down into a place where I can call home. I love to be near the ocean. The ocean gives me life. It helps me to feel free. It calms me. It reminds me of who I am. I don't know why I feel like that about the waters of the sea and the ocean, but I do. I like to think it's because I think of myself as a mermaid, but I think it's more than that. It's a sense of connection with a part of my celestial being that I'm still learning to understand. For some of y'all, some of the words I see and the things I talk about, sometimes it might go over your head. And for others, you're going to really get it. I want all y'all to get it because I want you to understand and know that to be alone sometimes is to be empowered, to have a greater opportunity to know thyself. Sometimes, unfortunately, people are stripped away from your life. For some of us, this is the journey of life. You know, the loneliness, being alone, is the journey of our lives. Because there are just some things that we have to do alone. There are connections that we will make with people, but they won't stay. The relationships will come and go, but they won't last. And I'm not saying that that's a forever thing, but y'all, look, I have accepted that for myself, that that's a part of my life. People come, people go. I don't hold tight to beings within my life anymore. If they meant to be there, they meant to be there. I don't care if it's for 2 or 3 days, 3 or 4 weeks, 5 or 6 months, 8 to 10 years. If they meant to be there, they're going to be there. I just flow with it. I've learned that now. Excuse me. But in the midst of all of that, sometimes I just feel alone. And I have to remind myself that I am not. I am not alone. I am never alone. Spirit guides me. My ancestors are beside me. The force and will of life is within me. I am the creator of my life, and I get to choose how this story plays out. I am one who truly believes in that I create my life. By my frequency, by my vibration, by my thoughts, by my energy. So there are some days when I just don't feel joyful or as happy as I want to feel. I don't have as much peace within me as I want to have. Sometimes chaos is going on all around me and I'm trying to calm the storm. I've come a long way from being that 15-year-old girl who tried to take her life. Like, look, if I had succeeded, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you today. What I realized is that there's purpose. There's purpose in life. And for some of us, we get chances to choose. We can choose to stay or we can choose to go. We all have a choice. Some of us don't even ever think about leaving the earth. Some of us never even think about leaving our bodies prematurely, as some would say. Some of us never even think about that. Kudos to you. Then there are others who every time some things happen in their life and they get stirred up, the pressure, the things going on around them, not being able to balance the energies within inside of them, it becomes too much. Realizing that you don't have, or you feel you don't have someone to be involved with. And unfortunately, in this world that we live in, people focus a lot on relationships, I can't even get it out. Romantic relationships, engagements. People focus on a lot of societal accomplishments. Getting married, having the house, having the nice car, having a job, being successful as far as what success looks like in the world. And so some of us succumb to the pressures of those kinds of lifestyles. And so we feel as failures when we don't succeed in those areas. Some of us, we sit or we lay night after night, day after day, and we think to ourselves, I'm alone. I'm not with nobody. Nobody don't want me. I can't keep a relationship. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. You fill in the blank. I used to be like that. I used to think that until like that, or think things like that, those things, until I had my awakening experiences. And my spiritual journey obviously has been one that is undescribably beautiful and treacherous and hilarious, to say the least. There's been a lot of things that I've been through spiritually. But what I learned the most is that during my time of seclusion and solitude, that those times were offered unto me to learn about myself. Now, I'm going to encourage you that if you just feel like sometimes you can't take the being alone part, then seek someone. If you believe in prayer, pray for God, the Creator, or the universe, however you see it, to bring forth guidance for you to get the support that you need. Speak life over yourself. Talk to somebody. Reach out for help. This is the same things that they tell people who might be thinking about committing suicide, huh? Yes. But what I'm saying is, there are going to be times when you're going to feel alone. But no, you are not alone. There are so many of us. And I feel like I'm a broken record, repetitively saying the same things over and over again. But it's okay, because somebody needs to hear it. Somebody needs to be comforted. Somebody needs to know you're not alone. It doesn't matter how hard it looks like, how lonely you feel, how loud the voices are in your head, how much you scream, how often you cry. It don't matter. None of that matters if you don't understand the purpose of your being, the purpose of your existence. Why are you here? And that's a hard question for people to deal with. The people to even ask themselves when things are happening in the world all around. And sometimes for some people, when they ask that question, they don't like the answers they start getting. Just a couple of weeks ago, I heard a story about a young man, Regina King's son. She's an actress, and her only child, who I think he was like in his mid-20s, he killed himself. Now, some would say, why would someone like that, with a mother so prestigious and successful, kill themselves? Of course, he could have, most definitely, should have been living a good life, right? Or what the world considers to be successful in a good life. But then I look and think about all the other people who may have been in that same category. Kate Spade, Robin Williams. These are all financially successful people who were doing well according to society. But still, they decided to take their own lives. Why is that? We can ask the question, but one will never know unless we had them before us to ask them. And some of us are capable of doing that if they are available in the spirit realm to be asked. However, right now, to know that people of their status and stature, with all that they had, and with how everyone looked upon them, they still decided to take their own lives. Nobody knows what they were going through, to the extent where they were just like, this is it, enough is enough. Did they even feel like that this is it, enough is enough? Or did they finally come to the conclusion of knowing, you know what? There's something greater on the other side. I'm ready. I've done what I needed to do here. I've served my purpose. I'm ready to go. Did they come to that conclusion? Like I say, one will never know. But as for me, after that first attempt, it wasn't my last. Y'all, I know y'all saying, why is she laughing? Because my life, yo, I'm telling y'all, it's funny. If I could tell y'all all the stuff, even a quarter of the stuff that I done been through in my life, for real, y'all would be like, what the? Look, I'm going to just give you the short version. When I was almost 2, and people be like, how you remember this, baby? Tragedy will have you remember some shit, okay? I remember things from when I was a toddler. My mama said I wasn't quite 2 yet. So when I was almost 2, my house caught on fire. I was sitting on the side of the bed in my mama room watching TV. I will never forget this, yo. I wasn't 2 yet. I know because my mama told me I wasn't 2 yet. She was like, how do you remember that? I was sitting there, and the TV at some point, I think I was supposed to be asleep, but the TV was the Snow White picture. Sound like a poltergeist story already, huh? Caroline, look into the light. Some of y'all will get that. Some of y'all won't. So I was sitting there looking at the Snow White television, the snowy picture. And then something told me to turn around. Literally, I turned around and all I saw was fire. Now, I recall remembering this, but when I recall remembering it, I didn't have words then at that time to express it, but I got words to express it now. I was afraid. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where my mama was. I didn't know where my sister was. I was just there. And the fire was too. I ran. And I hid on the side of the bed. Afraid. And within minutes, my mother came running. And she gathered me and ran out the house with me. That's all I remember about that. That was the first fire. I wasn't quite 2. The second time my house caught on fire, I was 8 years old. I was the only one in the house. My older sister and my younger sister were outside. My older sister was a teenager and she was outside kicking it with her friends. My younger sister was outside playing, probably riding a bike or whatever it was at the time up and down the street. I don't remember. Back then we lived in the projects. You're from New Orleans, you know about the Magnolia. That's where I was. I smelled something burning. But I looked all around the house. I didn't see no fire. But I knew something was burning. I knew it was burning. I smelled it. I went through the whole house. I was already in the kitchen because I was washing dishes. Yes, babe, I was 8 years old cleaning that kitchen. My mama didn't play no games. It was my turn to clean the kitchen. I'm doing the dishes, cleaning. I know the stove is off. I still smell something burning. I go look in my room. I don't see nothing. I went look in the bathroom. I don't see nothing. I went look in my mama's room. I ain't see nothing. I went back to the kitchen. The smell just kept getting stronger and stronger. What was happening was in the living room, when I finally left out the house, I had to leave through the living room. That's where the front door was, and I left out. In the living room, we had an AC window unit that was plugged in. It was plugged into the wall, and right in front of the wall was my mother's couch. So the couch was backed up against the wall. Some kind of electrical issue was happening within the walls and with that socket. It had sparked and caught the sofa on fire. That's what was burning. That's what I smelled. But I couldn't figure it out at the time. I was told later that that's what it was. Because the smell kept getting stronger and stronger, I was like, you know what? I'm not finna stay in here and try to look for this. I know something burned. I left out the house. I closed the door behind me. I went to my sister and I told her, I said, look, something burning in the house. I don't know what it is, but it's burning. And she went to the door to go look. She opened the door. A gush of flames came out the house. Our whole apartment was on fire. We was able to alert other people. It was 3 floors. We were on the 2nd floor. We got everybody out the building. Everybody was safe. Nobody was injured. But my whole apartment was destroyed by a fire, except for my mother's room. That was the saving grace. That was God looking out for us. My mother's room didn't get no smoke damage, no damage at all. It was like the room was not touched. And that's where all the important stuff was. Thank God. It was a miracle. Not only was it a miracle that her room was protected, but it was a miracle that her children were protected. My sister and my little sister, my big sister was outside. And me, well, I was in the house. But I had enough gumption and intuition to get out. Now, what if I didn't? What if I just stayed a little bit longer looking, trying to figure out where it was coming from? I wouldn't be here today talking to you. Why am I telling you all this? Because there have been times when I tried to take my life, and there have been times when my life has tried to be taken from me. Now, these are natural causes, as some would say, where things come up and unfortunate circumstances are possible to happen. House fires happen all the time. Some people live and make it out, and some people don't. The beauty of what happened was that nobody was hurt, nobody died, nobody was injured. That same fire that happened that day could have happened that night while we were asleep. Those are the things that I think about when I start feeling alone. When I start asking myself, why am I here? Why I gotta go through this? I learned to stop asking those kinds of questions, and I learned to start saying, what am I supposed to be learning about this life through this lesson? God, what you trying to show me? Universe, what you want me to see? What do I need to see about myself? What lesson is it that I need to learn right now? Help me to learn that lesson. Show me, show forth. Give me guidance, support. For me, it may seem easy. It's not easy, y'all. Living is not easy. Ain't nothing easy about this life. And if somebody tell you that, then tell them they need to find me so I can get the insight. Ain't nothing easy about this life. But we weren't meant to live it alone. We weren't meant to be disconnected. We're all one. I love that saying that James Earl Jones spoke in the previous Lion King narration on that song and in the movie. The song is by Beyonce. It's called Spirit Bigger. I love that song. Every time I hear that song, it gives me chills. It takes me higher to another realm. It's like it's a gospel song, as some would say. But it just takes me, and I'm going to listen to that when I finish doing this. It takes me to a higher place. It reminds me of who I am. I'm bigger. Bigger than anything these people on this earth could ever tell me. I'm powerful. I am somebody. I have power within me. I am a life force. The life force is within me. I have to remind myself of this. Because if I don't, I will quickly give up. I will quickly go into a state of depression and allow unfortunate dark energies to consume me, allowing me to be a vessel and opportunity for spirits to come and dwell. Now I know that for some of y'all will understand exactly what I'm saying. And for some of y'all, it's going to go over your head. But by and by, And as time will go, eventually, maybe, just maybe, you will begin to get what I'm saying. All of this to say this, because I'm almost done. Twice my life was almost taken by fire. Twice I tried to take my life by my own hand. And another time, actually 2 other more times, I'm having to reflect and think. 2 people tried to take my life. As some would say, I'm a living testament. I'm a fighter. I'm a survivor. I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. But this is my journey. This is what I've chosen after I reflect and look back over my life. It don't matter what I go through. It don't matter what I'm faced with. I have the resilience within me to face and overcome every obstacle that comes my way. I've already done that all my life, 100%, up until this point. So I can't doubt myself nor the power that is within me to overcome these things. However, I have come to the understanding of knowing that everybody's not like me. Everybody don't think like me. Everybody has not had the same life experiences that I've had to support whatever issues that they're going through at this time in their life or at a time in their life. So this is why I have compassion now, or I'm more understanding towards people in their own individual journeys when they are thinking about suicide or when they have actually committed it. People like to ostracize people and put people in a category and be all sympathetic and be like, oh, I feel so bad for them and their family. You know, when suicide happens with a person and then people start looking at the family funny. Nobody knows why these people take their lives. I just told you why I was considering taking my own. But unless you have a conversation with these people before they actually do it, you don't know. You don't know what's going on in their mind or why they decided to do what they did. And in that very last moment, if you're not there with them, you don't know. You don't know. So what I'm going to say to you today, this was a hard soul inspiration for me to do. And it turned out better than I thought it was going to turn out. It was hard for me to do because Spirit spoke to me and said, this is what I needed to do. I needed to do a soul inspiration on this topic. It came to me a week and a half ago. But I was like, nah, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about suicide. I don't want to talk about that. Then shortly after, I started having feelings. I'm an empath. I can feel other people's emotions and feelings around me. So I wondered for a time if I were feeling my own feelings or if I was feeling the feelings of other people. Then I saw the story about Regina King's son. Then I saw another story about another young lady. And it was just like, okay, I'll do the video. So before I did the soul inspiration, I prayed and I spoke life over myself. And I asked Spirit to guide me and speak through me the words that needed to be spoken and revealed and what have you. And so this is what y'all got. I wasn't planning when I first started this video. I wasn't planning to tell y'all about 2 house fires and me killing myself twice, trying to kill myself twice. I wasn't planning to tell y'all that. But if you've listened long enough to me and my life experiences, when I talk about them, you know, when spirit tell me to do something, I do it. My life is a testament and a witness for others. So if you come across me, I always say this, if you come across me in video, YouTube, IG, Facebook, wherever you find me, if you find me and you sit with me long enough like this to watch one of my videos, it's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. It's not a happenstance. It was divinely orchestrated, baby, for you to see it. My message is for a specific audience. I am not for everybody. Everybody is not for me. But I embrace the audience that I have, and they embrace me as well. My purpose for being is to serve humanity through my life experiences, my courage, my wisdom, my strength exhibited through me ascending, rising and becoming stronger in the goddess being that I am. I know that now. It's not easy. It is hard. It gets hard sometimes. It really does. And like I told y'all earlier, if you know somebody who say life is easy and they got the tips on how easy it is, I need some insight. Send them my way. I want some help. But for those of you who are watching this, seriously, if you feel alone, know that you're not. You're never alone. There are always others out here going through the same thing that you're going through, or something similar. You have a choice. You have the opportunity to go at it alone. You have the opportunity to choose to go at it alone, or you have the choice to choose to seek help, to seek guidance, to seek connection. And like I said, sometimes there are some things you will have to go through alone. I purposely left my family. I didn't abandon them now. They were of age. Everybody was grown. But it was time. It was time for me to do my own thing, to be separated. I've been taking care of people all my life. It was time for me to start taking care of me. And for some of us, that's an issue. Some of us, we focus so much on taking care of everybody else that we don't take care of ourselves. At some point, you need to start taking care of yourself. That was me. I needed to start taking care of myself. I needed to look in depth and find balance in that area of my life to take care of myself. So with that being said, if you were watching this Soulspiration, I hope today that I've said something that has inspired you, inspired your soul, encouraged you to go on a little while longer, to let you know that you are supported. You do have access to someone who will talk to you, who will support you. And if you don't want to talk to me, find somebody that you want to talk to. They are professionals. Suicide hotlines, all that good jazz. They might put you in a psych ward. They'll do some other stuff. Maybe you need to go to one of them places. I don't know. It's your choice. You choose. The whole point is, it doesn't have to end. Your life doesn't have to end. You can lay everything out on the table and figure out all the options that you have. And at the end of all of that, I hope that you would gain strength. and find peace within yourself and within your being, and knowing that life doesn't have to end. You can choose to end it, but it doesn't have to end. So, am I pro-life? Yes. But I don't feel no kind of way for those who choose to end their lives. My love, my embrace for them is still the same. It's their choice. It's their birthright. And if they choose to end it, that was their choice. And whether or not they had adequate, sufficient mental stability in choosing, that's two different things. Only they know that. So today, as I leave you, going past my time, this is the longest one I ever did. I just want you to know that I feel alone sometimes too. And that's exactly why I did this video. Because I feel alone sometimes too. You're not alone. There's people out here just like you, experiencing the things that you are experiencing, or things similar. So talk to somebody. Get help. Align your chakras. Get some insight on chakra healing. This is a book, A Beginner's Guide by Margarita Alcantara. I'm going to just show y'all the book. I know it looks upside down, but that's the book. Not upside down, but better. Backwards. I can't even talk. It's time to go. Time to go. All right, look. Empress Queen Kenya signing off. Please follow me on Instagram, Empress Queen Kenya. That is my new name on Instagram. I have changed my name. I have changed the channel of my YouTube channel. It is Empress Queen Kenya, the life coach. Y'all know me. I'm the spiritual life coach. Y'all can check me out. You can follow me for Tantric Vibes, Empress Queen Kenya 55. You can also check out my website, www.empressqueenkenya.com. Again, I hope I've said something that has helped you today, inspired your soul, encouraged you, and allowed you to know that you're not alone. Peace, love, light, and darkness. Balance be unto you. Ashe.